Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
A Catholic priest in Austria died after severe mudslides buried his car. On Friday, July 22, 2022, a storm in the Tyrol region of Austria caused mudslides. Father Augustine Kunvi, a 60-year-old Catholic priest, originally from Togo, was buried in his car on Friday evening. On July 24 his body was found. The Diocese of Innsbruck was concerned over the disappearance of Father Augustine, without a trace, in the valley during the storm. Innsbruck's Bishop Hermann Gledler called for prayer for the priest. "Where's Reverend Augustine?" Gledler wrote on Instagram on Sunday. "I share the grief with the people in the Stubai Valley and in all of Tyrol. Sincere condolences, God's comfort." The pastor probably died in a devastating mudslide during the night from Friday to Saturday. "There is no certainty. Thanks for the prayer," continued the head of the Church of the Diocese of Innsbruck. The priest's Bible and personal belongings were first discovered: a Bible, business cards and documents. These personal belongings of the pastor were discovered on Saturday by water rescue services on the banks of the Roots. Parts of his car were also recovered from the torrential water, torn into several pieces and barely recognizable as a car. After several days of searching, his lifeless body was found. There is much sympathy and sorrow throughout the valley. At Sunday Masses in the 5 parishes of the pastoral room, prayers were prayed for the pastor. The shock is deep. Throughout the valley, the pastor's fate is the most important topic. The sympathy is great, Fulton's Mayor Johann Deutschmann explained. U.S. Bishops' Chairman condemn regulations forcing gender ideology and potentially abortion on healthcare workers and religious hospitals. On July 25, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, issued proposed revisions to its regulations implementing Section 1557 of the Affordable Care Act, which would force healthcare workers to perform gender transition procedures, require health insurance issuers to cover them, and entertain a mandate to perform elective abortions. Archbishop William Lori of Baltimore, chairman of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops, USCCB, Committee on Pro-Life Activities, Archbishop Paul Coakley of Oklahoma City, chairman of the Committee on Domestic Justice and Human Development, Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone of San Francisco, chairman of the Committee on Laity, Marriage, Family Life, and Youth, and Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York, chairman of the Committee for Religious Liberty, issued the following statement in response. "Catholics have been called to care for the sick since the earliest days of our faith. Today, the various agencies and social service ministries of the Catholic Church taken together are equivalent to the largest nonprofit healthcare provider in the country. We do this work in fulfillment of the direct command of Jesus Christ and in imitation of his divine ministry here on earth. Catholic healthcare ministries serve everyone, no matter their race, sex, belief system, or any other characteristic. The same excellent care will be provided in a Catholic hospital to all patients, including patients who identify as transgender, whether it be for a broken bone or for cancer, but we cannot do what our faith forbids. We object to harmful procedures, not to patients." Sadly, Monday's proposed regulations threaten our ability to carry out our healing ministries, and others to practice medicine. They mandate healthcare workers to perform life-altering surgeries to remove perfectly healthy body parts. Assurances that HHS will honor religious freedom laws offer little comfort when HHS is actively fighting court rulings that declared HHS violated religious freedom laws the last time they tried to impose such a mandate. This is a violation of religious freedom and bad medicine. The proposed regulations announce that HHS is also considering whether to force healthcare workers to perform abortions against their will or lose their jobs. We call on HHS to explicitly disavow any such intent. We will continue to review these proposed regulations and will file more thorough comments at the appropriate time. In France, at Boulogne-sur-Mer's Notre Dame Basilica, an attack took place on July 27, 2022. The police explained that they found a man covered in blood in a crisis of madness. The mayor wrote on Facebook, I went there alongside the teams of the National Police, the Dean of the Cathedral, Father Dumini, and the Heritage Services of the city to assess the consequences of this act of vandalism, which is, a priori, not of a protest order but which seems to be the result of a gesture of insanity. The church is property of both the state and the church, according to the French Republic's regulations. The attacker is a man in his 30s and is thought to be an American citizen. A priest offered Mass for youth at sea due to extreme heat and then offers apology, and Archdiocese issues a statement. A priest named Father Mattia Bernasconi, in Italy, celebrated Holy Mass at sea for a youth group in the extreme heat. An air mattress was used as an altar in the middle of the sea, parish priest and faithful in the water. Thus Don Mattia Bernasconi, vicar of the pastoral care for young people of the parish of St. Louis Gonzaga in Milan, Italy, celebrated Mass in Alfieri, one of the most beautiful beaches in the Crotone area. The incident is being investigated by Crotone prosecutors for a possible religious offense. The Archdiocese issued a statement. Father Mattia has since apologized and asked forgiveness in an open letter. In a letter, he writes, "To the Archbishop, to the Episcopal vicars, to his confreres and to all his brothers and sisters in the faith. I am writing you a few but here lines to apologize for the celebration on Sunday the 24th morning in the waters of the Sea of Capo Colonna. I was there with a group of boys from the oratory with whom we shared a wonderful experience of working. On Sunday, the last day of the camp, we planned to celebrate Mass and then to experience a day at sea before returning to Milan. We looked for other areas suitable for the celebration, but not having found any, it seemed significant to me, in the context of the camp we have just experienced, to celebrate in the water, immersed in the earth that welcomed us to work and reflect on the days we had just passed. When a nearby family heard us, they offered us their mattress as an altar and I decided to accept. It was absolutely not my intention to trivialize the Eucharist or use it for other messages of any kind. It was simply the Mass at the end of a week of work with the boys who participated in the camp and the context of the group. It was naive of me not to give them due weight. I assure you that there was no lack of attention and care for the Word and the Eucharist, but out of context the form is more eloquent than the substance, and a moment of prayer lived with intensity and meaning by the young people present there has hit the faith of many. I am deeply saddened by it. I recognize that I have lacked the attention necessary to enhance a mystery so great and so unworthily entrusted to our humble hands. I have always lived the Eucharistic celebration with profound awareness of the immense mystery of love that it conceals and conveys, and in 8 years of ordination that was the first time I have not worn at least a alb and stole. But I realize that even once is too much. I humbly apologize from the bottom of my heart also for the confusion generated by the media coverage of the news and images. It was absolutely not my intention that it had such prominence, so much so that for the celebration we had chosen a place initially isolated and away from the umbrellas, even if then some people, having seen us from afar, joined the celebration. In the Mass that I celebrated on Monday afternoon in the church in the parish of San Luigi, I asked the Lord for forgiveness for my superficiality that made so many suffer. Pope Francis finished up his penitential pilgrimage to Canada. The Holy Father was on his 37th apostolic journey, marking his 56th country visited. This will hopefully contribute to a process of healing and reconciliation with the country's indigenous peoples. During the July 24th to 30th visit, the Pope made stops in Edmonton, Quebec, and the northern city of Iqaluit. Notably, he made an historic apology to the indigenous peoples. He celebrated Mass with over 50,000 people in Canada's largest stadium in Edmonton, Alberta. He also went to the Lac St. Anne pilgrimage site and blessed the waters. Then he celebrated a reconciliation Mass in Quebec's St. Anne de Beaupré shrine. He met privately with survivors and tried to console them. Then, finally, traveled to Iqaluit and met with Indigenous youth.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.